Damn. I didn't expect Kylie Jenner to get dragged for ruining the climate by taking her private jet for a 3-minute flight. And y'all are telling me we have to choke on paper straws? Before we address this huge mess that went down on social media, apparently Billie Eilish and Olivia Rodrigo also got dragged this week for creating their own genre of music. And y'all, even Conan Gray was attacked by millions of people for his national anthem performance on live television. Without further ado, let's jump right in. See, I understand that sometimes celebrities face a lot of difficulties when it comes to spending their own money because, you know, they have a lot of it. And also, I do see why they're out here buying and renting $100,000 private jets for their own safety and privacy. But girl, why are some of y'all out here taking a 3-minute flight and producing more CO2 to the world in 6 months than we'd made in 3 years? I mean, seriously, I can already see some of y'all commenting about how I'm probably jealous of Kylie and her luxurious lifestyle, which I am, by the way. But girl, are we really gonna sit here and defend rich people? I understand that no one on earth really cares about global warming until a celebrity does a small mistake, but what Kylie Jenner did this past week exposed a lot of secrets to people in the Hollywood industry. Here's the rundown. Earlier this week, Kylie Jenner decided to make an Instagram post posing with Tyler Scott in front of 2 private jets. And her caption said, "You want to take mine or yours?" Not a second after Kylie made this post, her name started trending all over social media with thousands of people dragging her for still taking private jets and causing huge CO2 emissions that increases global warming. And the main reason why people mainly focused on this issue today is because of the heat wave that hit multiple countries in the UK, which was twice as hot as normal in the summertime. Now, of course, the backlash that Kylie received came from many people who cared about climate change, while others were just jumping into the hate train and adding more fuel to the fire. But what really changed this entire situation is when a person who had been tracking Kylie's private jet flights decided to expose screenshots of Kylie taking 3-minute flights in her private jet, which would be a 40-minute drive in the car. Kylie Jenner's jet took off from Camarillo, California, US, going to Van Nuys, California, US. Van Nuys Airport, arriving in 3 minutes. The reason why this tweet made millions of people upset with Kylie was because of how she was taking multiple 3-minute trips by her private jet and producing more CO2 for the world. And as y'all know, private jets are known for producing more CO2 than any other regular human being who produces CO2 in 3 years. I mean, it makes sense as to why people came after Kylie specifically for taking a 3-minute flight trip and not other celebrities who also use private jets for traveling. As a result of this, Kylie got blasted all over social media for her horrible actions, with tons of headlines being made about her, with the title calling Kylie Jenner the climate criminal. Here's what some people had to say. Kylie Jenner needs to start flying economy. I am so serious. Kylie Jenner is a climate criminal. These jets should never be allowed to take off. Europe is on fire. Meanwhile, Kylie Jenner is taking 15-minute trips in her private jet. I could recycle everything, buy all my clothes secondhand, compost, and grow my own food for the rest of my life, and it wouldn't even begin to offset the footprint from one of her flights. Kylie decided to take a short break from the internet to return with a new TikTok video this week, showing off how humble she is by going to Target to shop with her daughter Stormy. Anyways, y'all, let's move on now to Billie Eilish and Olivia Rodrigo, who got dragged this week for creating the sad girl pop genre. To be honest, it was very surprising to see Billie Eilish and Olivia Rodrigo getting victimized on social media for something they unintentionally created. But I guess this is what happens when popular artists make their own genre of music. As we all know by now, Billie Eilish was one of the fastest celebrities out there who got acknowledged by millions of people for her music. And the reason for that is because of how unique her voice and music were and how different she sounded from every artist in the music industry. She surprised many fans with intense songs and music videos, to the point where she got recognized by the entire globe for making the best sad pop music that no one has ever done before at her age. And y'all, this caused many artists to take inspiration from Billie years later, such as Olivia Rodrigo, who became super popular last year with her debut album Sour after it had some sad pop music on her album. Don't worry, I'm not trying to accuse Olivia of copying Billie in any shape or form, but a lot of people found both of their music very unique and different, which made them get categorized in the same genre. Now, unfortunately, we had to suffer afterwards with a huge global pandemic, and I'm not talking about COVID-19 because some TikTokers artists decided to take inspiration from Billie and Olivia and release these horrible music that could cause your ears to bleed, such as ABCDEFU by Gayle. Yeah. Despite the huge success this song earned, it still got categorized as the worst song ever released by an artist in the 2020 century. What made this situation worse, you guys, is when hundreds of TikTokers decided to follow Olivia and Gayle's steps and release their own cheesy songs just to get popular. And one of the songs that went viral on TikTok and gained tons of backlash was Twinkle Twinkle Little Bitch by Leah Kate. You can't tell me that you listen to this kind of music and enjoy it. After Leah Kate got dragged on Twitter for making this horrible ass song, many creators started teasing more ear-bleeding music such as this.
He's a 10, but
and y'all, this situation made the Grammys, aka the biggest music awards show, release a statement on Billie Eilish and Olivia Rodrigo saying how they inspired all these TikTok artists to use the sad girl pop genre in their music. The Recording Academy have credited Billie Eilish for creating the sad girl pop genre in 2016 that is used by a lot of musicians today in the industry, including Olivia Rodrigo and Tate McRae. After this article was made, tons of people decided to come for Billie Eilish and Olivia Rodrigo for not only causing TikTok artists to make horrible music, but also for not crediting other huge artists such as Lorde, Lana Del Rey, and more for creating the sad girl pop genre before them. I love Billie, but there are people who did it way before her, like Fiona Apple, Lana, Marina, Lorde, etc. I like Olivia Rodrigo's music, but it's time we all talk about how much of a role she played into starting the nursery rhyme TikTok music trend. The hold Olivia Rodrigo has on these TikTok girlies trying to make music. Anyways, y'all, let's just end today's video with Conan Gray getting dragged to the filth this week for his national anthem performance. I never really expected the Conan Gray getting canceled by a bunch of grown men for a simple mistake that many artists face in the industry. But unfortunately, he's being called out for having the worst national anthem performance in history, you guys. You know, it's kind of wild to see how everyone jumped at Conan for having issues performing this week, considering the fact that Fergie had the worst national anthem performance over the years, which became the biggest meme ever on social media.
and the rockets red glare, the bombs burst.
Other than that, Conan Gray himself is a new artist in the music industry who is recognized for having a really soothing and intense voice. And surprisingly, he got invited to sing the US national anthem at the Home Run Derby, which ended up sounding horribly on television. Check this out.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early
After this clip went viral, tons of people went on Twitter to make fun of Conan for being a horrible singer. And y'all, it even got to the point where people called his performance the worst national anthem rendition that has ever happened on live television. Here's what they had to say. This Conan Gray guy might be the worst national anthem singer of all time. Fergie watching people call Conan's performance the worst national anthem rendition. I don't know TF Conan Gray is, but that was top 5 worst national anthem renditions I've ever heard. Anyways, loves, make sure to watch my previous videos on these celebrities by clicking on the tab right above.